Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV in conjunction with Colfax High School presents Viking pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. And now, Viking pregame.
Good evening, and welcome to the NLWN-TV studios. I'm Rick Olson, and we're getting ready to bring you Colfax High School Girls Viking Basketball. Tonight, the 12-6 Colfax Vikings, who are 7-2 in the Dunn-St Croix Conference, are getting ready to take on the 5-12 Spring Valley Cardinals, who are 5-4 in the conference, in a Dunn-St Croix Conference contest. The Vikings are coming off a 59-40 victory over the Boyceville Bulldogs on Tuesday night, while the Cardinals are trying to build upon their 58-34 win over Glenwood City Hilltoppers, also on Tuesday. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Cardinals and the Vikings. Then, we'll get Coach Serrar's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll take a look around the Dunn-St Croix Conference to see where things stand. Then we'll send it out to Spring Valley High School, where our broadcast crew will bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school girls basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
There are a lot of words I would use to describe my daughter. Kind, strong, hilarious. When I think about how much she's experienced in her life, we can't help but be inspired by her every day. So really, we are the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's girls Dunn-St Croix Conference game between the Colfax Vikings and the Spring Valley Cardinals. The Vikings are coming off a 59-40 win over the Boyceville Bulldogs last Tuesday, and in the process had their leading scorer, McKenna Shipman, go down with an ankle injury during warm-ups and did not play. Meanwhile, also on Tuesday, the Spring Valley Cardinals took care of business by defeating the Glenwood City Hilltoppers 58-34. Now, in that Viking game against Boyceville, with McKenna Shipman going down with an injury prior to the game even starting, the Vikings needed to have other players step up in the scoring, and they did just that, with 10 players contributing to the point total. Leading the way in the effort was 5'7" junior Autumn Nigaman, who hit on 4 for 7 field goals, including 3 three-pointers for 11 points. She was followed by 5'6" sophomore Sierra Shipman, who put in 4 field goals and a free throw for 9 points, and Meadow Keltner, who added another 8. Now, leading the way rebounding for the Vikings was 6' senior Jeanette Hajdukovic, who pulled down 6 boards, followed by Sierra Shipman and Bryn Sikora, who grabbed 5 and 4, respectively. Now, today the Vikings would like to keep the pressure on the Dunn-St Croix Conference leaders, as well as maintaining their position in second place in the Dunn-St Croix Conference. Meanwhile, with only a half-dozen games remaining in the conference season, the Cardinals are trying to prepare themselves to make a run in the WIAA playoffs, which begin a little under a month from now. Now, in that win over Glenwood City, the Cardinals were led by senior guard Mara Ducklow, who hit on 5 of 12 from the floor, including 2 three-pointers, as well as going 5 for 6 from the charity stripe for 17 points. Senior forward Maddie Schaefer followed by making 5 shots from the floor and hitting 4 of 4 from the free throw line for 14 points. Senior forward Charlie Vaness also scored in double digits by adding 10 points. Ducklow and Vaness led the Cardinals in rebounding by pulling down 12 and 11 boards, respectively. Now, coming into tonight's game, leading the way for Spring Valley in scoring is Ducklow, who's shooting 43% from the floor, including 36% from three-point land, as well as 68% from the free throw line, while averaging over 13 points per game. The number 2 scorer for the Cardinals is Vanessa, who's shooting 31% from the floor and 64% from the charity stripe for an average of nearly 7 points per game. On the boards, the Cardinals are led by Vanessa and Ducklow, who are grabbing 7.5 and nearly 7 rebounds per game, respectively, with Stoveren pulling down 5. Now, so far this season, leading the way for the Vikings in scoring is McKenna Shipman, who is averaging 14.5 points per game. Now, whether or not she plays this evening will likely be a game-time decision based on her injured ankle. She is being followed in scoring by Kaysen Goodell, who's accounting for over 8 points per game, along with Hajdukovic, who's putting in 7 per game. Now, on the boards, the Vikings are being led by McKenna Shipman and Hajdukovic with around 5.5 rebounds per game each. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get Viking head coach Courtney Serrar's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Adding your own flavor to fashion comes with age.
Okay, Dad, look at you.
Yeah, welcome. Hi.
Forgetting how to add doesn't. Finding it difficult to work with numbers may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Dad, are you okay?
An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's. Some things come with age, some others don't.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Once again on Coach's Corner, we're talking with Viking girls head coach Courtney Serrar. Coach, back on Tuesday, the Vikings defeated their rival just down Highway 170 when they topped the Boyceville Bulldogs 59-40. Your thoughts about that game?
Yeah, I thought we played well. We had a lot of people, make some shots. We had a really good assist-to-turnover ratio, and it was a good win.
Now, that game provided a unique opportunity for growth as a team when the Vikings needed to overcome the loss of their leading scorer, McKenna Shipman, when she injured her ankle during pregame warmups and wasn't able to play. So can you talk a little bit about how the girls stepped up to gain that win?
Yeah, we have, a lot of kids who can play, and, that's what a good team does is just, when you're facing a little adversity, you have to respond, and I thought we did a good job, just going on with the game. There's nothing you can do.
And it's kind of next player up attitude, isn't it? You have to go with that.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't going to just decide to not play, so.
Right. And the fact that you've played 10 girls regularly all season has really got to help, because that means that you've got a full bench of players that see serious varsity time and can step in and take those various roles.
Yeah, for sure. We have, obviously 10 kids, and I, sub 5 and 5 a lot, and it's a good opportunity. So they know, when situations like that occur, they're ready because they've already, played many games before this one.
Well, tonight the Vikings are going to take on the Spring Valley Cardinals over in Spring Valley. Now, that's a team they defeated 66-16 earlier this season. What can you tell us about the Cardinals, who appear to be playing a little better than they were earlier in the season, and what do you expect that might be different this time around?
They have a really good guard in the Ducklow girl, so our main concern is going to be, keeping her under control, and it's been kind of the theme, and I know, Jada's a really good defender who has great feet and does a good job keeping her player in front of her. So we just have to make sure as a team that, we're in the gap help and Jada has the help that she needs.
Well, with Shipman's availability tonight questionable at the very best, are there any adjustments the Vikings are going to need to make in tonight's game?
I don't think so. I mean, obviously, you'd love to have McKenna, but I know that a lot of kids, will fill that void just as they did before. So we're not
Well,
going to do
Coach
anything different. We're going to stick to our game plan.
Okay. All right. Coach Sarrar, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully the Vikings can keep the pressure on the conference leaders and start gearing up for those WIAA playoffs that are just under a month away.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
We all know what it's like to feel alone. But it just takes one new connection. Want to get out of here? To empower many.
This is unbelievable.
It doesn't take a superhero to bring forces together. We all have the power to reach out.
Let's go!
And help someone feel like they belong.
Pretty cool, huh?
We are stronger together.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. Today, the 7-2 Vikings will face the 5-4 Spring Valley Cardinals in a Dunn-St. Croix Conference matchup. Now, in Dunn-St. Croix Conference action last Tuesday, the Elk Mound Mounders defeated the Durand, Arkansas Panthers 38-28, while the Spring Valley Cardinals topped the Glenwood City Hilltoppers 58-34. The Colfax Vikings took a victory from the Boyceville Bulldogs 59-40, and the Mondovi Buffaloes topped the Elmwood Plum City Wolves 69-23. Now that leaves the Dunn-St. Croix Conference standings as follows. In first place are the unbeaten at 8-0 Elk Mound Mounders. In second place and a game and a half back at 7-2 are the Colfax Vikings. In third place sit the Durand, Arkansas Panthers with a 6-3 record and 2.5 games back. Tied for fourth place are the Mondovi Buffaloes and the Spring Valley Cardinals, who are 5-4 and 3.5 games back, while sixth place belongs to the 3-5 Glenwood City Hilltoppers. The 1-8 Boyceville Bulldogs are in seventh, and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves occupy eighth place. Now tonight, the Dunn-St. Croix Conference has a full slate of conference contests. That includes the Vikings taking on the Spring Valley Cardinals in Spring Valley, while the Durand, Arkansas Panthers will host the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Meanwhile, the Glenwood City Hilltoppers will travel to Mondovi to face the Buffaloes, while the Elk Mound Mounders will play host to the Boyceville Bulldogs. Tonight, the Vikings are trying to keep the pressure on the conference leaders, and they may very likely have to do it without their leading scorer in McKenna Shipman. Now, we'll see who's ready to step up and fill the void for the Vikings. Now, coming into this game, the Vikings are averaging 53 points per game on the season while giving up only 34. On the other hand, the Cardinals are scoring 37 while allowing 50. So with that said, we'll have all the action of tonight's Dunn-St. Croix Conference battle right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Now, in just a moment, I'll join our broadcast crew at Spring Valley High School as we bring you today's game between the Colfax Vikings and the Spring Valley Cardinals. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
You've been tuned to Viking pregame with a look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball.
It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
To learn more or to help financially, find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
Colfax Viking Girls Basketball is on the air.
To the right side, they feed it down underneath to Hajdukovic, who lays it up and in. Jeanette Hajdukovic with two.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network, along with NLWN-TV, is excited to bring you Colfax High School Girls Basketball.
No good on the shot. Rebound taken away by Shipman and puts the shot up and in.
Join us as we follow the Vikings while they battle their way through the Dunn-St. Croix Conference.
To Nigaman, she launches a three. She hit the three!
And now out to the gym for today's Colfax Viking basketball.
Good evening and welcome to Spring Valley High School, where tonight the Colfax Vikings are going to take on the Spring Valley Cardinals. Rick Olson here along with Dan Petchow, Lynn Nigaman on the camera tonight, and we're ready for some exciting girls high school basketball. Dan, looks like we've got a slight change in the Vikings starting lineup tonight. We knew it was going to be a game time decision, but McKenna Shipman is suited up, but she is not starting tonight.
Yeah, they just a little warm-up time. She did try to see if it was going to be a goal, and you know, you don't see a lot of limping or anything, but it must be maybe just a little not right yet. So we will see 34 Bryn Sikora coming for tonight's start.
In fact, why don't you give us the whole group of starters for tonight's game?
Yeah, here's the starters for Spring Valley. They're going to go with junior number 2, Audrey Matheson. Senior number 4, Mara Ducklow. Sophomore number 5, Riley Fritz. Senior number 14, Charlie Vaness. And senior number 35, Maddie Schaefer. So the Vikings will go with 5'6" junior number 4, Kason Goodell. 5'5" senior number 20, Meadow Keltner. 5'7" senior number 32, Jada Anderson. 5'7" sophomore number 34, Bryn Sikora. And 6' senior number 40, Jeanette Hajdukovic.
And as we look at things, what the Vikings are losing by not having Shipman start, there's nearly 15 points per game that are not starting. Now that doesn't mean she won't see any action tonight, but I would think that if she's not ready to go as a starter, they're probably going to sit her. They've got a really big game coming up next week, Thursday, and they sure want her to be healthy for that one. And hopefully Bryn Sikora can step up and fill in the void a little bit tonight.
Yeah, you know, we saw that the other night. You know, when McKenna couldn't go, the girls stepped up. They had, I think, 11 girls with points, and they filled that gap, and I believe they'll do that tonight too.
Well, we'll take a little more look at this game right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Dairy State Bank encourages you to save smarter for your retirement by maximizing possible tax advantages. We offer traditional, Roth, and rollover IRAs with a wide variety of investment options. It's not too late to invest up to $6,500 of possible tax-deferred earnings into an IRA for 2023 tax purposes, or $7,500 if you're 50 or better. Call or stop by for more information. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Austin and Nikki Pritchard are just what the doctor ordered. In fact, they are the doctors and they're ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
Back here at Spring Valley High School, as we're getting ready for some Viking Girls Basketball in the junior varsity game this evening that just ended a few minutes ago. It was the Colfax Vikings defeating the Spring Valley Cardinals by the score of 38-11. And take a quick look at the Spring Valley stats. And when you look at Spring Valley, it's all about Mara Ducklow. She's the team's leading scorer, averaging just over 13 points per game. She's got a field goal percentage of 43%, a free throw percentage of about 68%, and a three-point percentage of 36%. Those are pretty good numbers. Unfortunately, it really drops off after that. Charlie Vaness is the... Charlie Vaness, there's a feedback somewhere here, but I think it's from the public address system, not us.
Yeah,
and,
his mic was on.
What's that?
His mic was on.
Oh, okay. It wasn't our fault, folks. It wasn't us. But anyway, Charlie Vaness is the number 2 scorer on the team, getting just about 7 points per game. She's right behind Ducklow. You don't want to put her to the line very often because she shoots nearly 65% from the line. But otherwise, the Spring Valley Cardinals struggle offensively, and whereas the Vikings, they don't have large scorers after Shipman, but they do have a lot of scorers after Shipman.
Yeah, that's been a thing for Colfax probably for the last, well, probably since I started broadcasting with them, was they always have a deep bench, and there really isn't a girl that can't play. Even the JV that, you know, they don't get a lot of play time, but they can come off the bench too and give points to Colfax.
Yeah, the Viking reliable scorers, although they don't necessarily put up a lot of points, they go about 7 deep, and then there's an occasional scorer in there that sometimes bumps the number up around 10. But reliably, they go about 7 deep, whereas Spring Valley goes about 5 deep with fairly reliable scores.
Yeah, so that means that if Colfax can get out early and transition, get Spring Valley running, you know, kind of maybe wear them down a little bit, but Spring Valley has to make sure if they do get back not to foul too much, because Colfax free throws are definitely coming on here in the last couple weeks, so you don't want Colfax to go to the line.
Well, we're going to send it down to the public address announcer as we get ready for tonight's national anthem and player introductions.
It's a half-court beanbag toss to win Culver's prizes. They will be selling beanbags near the concession stand until halftime of the varsity game. Thank you for all of your support. Spring Valley High School, Colfax High School, the Dunn-St Croix Conference, and the WIAA require good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators at education-based interscholastic events. We request your cooperation in supporting the participants and the officials. Profanity, racial, sexist, or ethnic comments or other intimidating or taunting actions will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal of the site of competition. Please enjoy this game in a positive manner. And now, would you please rise if you are able and remove your hats to honor America as Spring Valley Middle School 8th graders Maddie Connors and Willa Meyer sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good evening and welcome to tonight's Dunn-St Croix Conference Girls Basketball game between the visiting Colfax Vikings and the host Spring Valley Cardinals. To introduce tonight's starting lineups, first for the visiting Colfax Vikings, number 4, a junior, Kason Goodell. Number 20, a senior, Meadow Keltner. Number 32, a senior, Jada Anderson. Number 34, a sophomore, Bryn Sikora. And number 40, a senior, Jeanette Hajdukovic. The Vikings are coached by Courtney Solar and Carlos Fiddleson and Joe Doucette. And now, for the host, Spring Valley Cardinals. Number 2, a junior, Audrey Matheson. Number 4, a senior, Mara Duffel. Number 5, a sophomore, Riley Fritz. Number 14, a senior, Charlie Glass. And number 35, a senior, Maddie Schaefer. The Cardinals are coached by Sean Houlihan, Mark Thomas, and Brianna Bear.
So there's the starting lineups for tonight's game. Again, in case you couldn't quite understand them, for the Vikings, it's Goodell, Keltner, Anderson, Sikora, and Hajdukovic. Got to hand it to the public address announcer. He handled Hajdukovic very well. And for the Spring Valley Cardinals, Matheson, Ducklow, Fritz, Vaness, and Schaefer. It's Vaness in the center circle, jumping against Hajdukovic for the Vikings. Vikings will be going from right to left. And the opening tip goes to the Spring Valley Cardinals. Fritz has it. She gets it over to Ducklow on the right side. Back out high to Vaness. They get it over to the left side. Back out high. This is Ducklow with it. Down into the corner and out to Fritz. To the free throw line to Schaefer. Schaefer gets it back out to the top of the key to Ducklow. Back to Schaefer down in the left corner. Ball gets knocked away. It goes out of bounds. It'll be Spring Valley ball. Mara Ducklow to inbound. She gets it into Vaness. Down in the left corner. Back to Ducklow along the baseline. Circles into the lane. Picks up the loose ball. Gets it out to Fritz. And over to Schaefer at the top of the key. Schaefer with it, gets it over to Vaness on the left side, down to the baseline. Cross-court pass to Ducklow, and she puts it up and in. Mara Ducklow puts Spring Valley on the board 2-0. Vikings with the ball, Keltner with it. Full court pressure being put on by Spring Valley. They get it into the forecourt to Sikora to Hajdukovic, then out to Goodell between the circles. Then over to Anderson and Hajdukovic at the top of the key. Feeds it to Sikora, puts it up and puts it in. Bryn Sikora with a little turnaround jumper, and she made it count. 2-2. Schaefer has it on the right side, just to the extended of the free throw line. Out to Ducklow. Ducklow takes it down toward the baseline, drives the right baseline, and stepped out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball. Nice job of blocking off the baseline by the Vikings.
Good job by Bryn Sikora there. You know, that brings a different dimension to this game tonight. You know, she's a little bigger, and her defense is a little better, so it'll be interesting.
Keltner gets it over to the right side to Goodell. Goodell takes it down to the right corner, out to Hajdukovic to the right elbow. To Sikora, takes it down to the right baseline to Goodell. Back out to Sikora to Keltner. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Hajdukovic with the putback, it's no good, but she got fouled. And the foul is going to be on Audrey Matheson. That's the first foul on anyone. First shot is up, no good. You did have to say something about free throw shooting being better, right?
Yeah, right.
Hajdukovic getting ready for the second shot is up and in. 3-2, Vikings on top. Ducklow with it, feeds it over to Fritz across the timeline on the right side. Back out to Ducklow between the circles. She's still on the dribble, gets it over to Schaefer. And the ball gets taken out of Schaefer's hands by Sikora. Down she comes into the lane, pops it up, and puts it in. Bryn Sikora with 2 more points, and the Vikings are on top 5-2. Mara Ducklow brings it across the timeline. Over to the right side to Matheson. Back to Ducklow at the baseline. Tries to put it up, no good. Goodell brings the loose ball away and down the floor to Sikora. Lays it up and in. Bryn Sikora puts it in, and Spring Valley wants to talk it over. We have a timeout on the floor on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
To get your lawn or garden to perform like you want, you first need to know about your soil. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for the Chippewa Valley.
Spring Valley inbounds the ball to Ducklow in the backcourt, and she got bopped in the beak and fouled by Sikora. She's saying she's okay. So Matheson gets it into Fritz. And to Ducklow, brings it up the floor, but the ball gets taken away, and Anderson fed it a little out of the reach of Sikora, and it went out of bounds. And it looks like Ducklow has got a little bit of a bloody nose as she comes off. Inbound pass taken away by Hajdukovic. They try to feed it down low. Ball goes right into the hands of Fritz, who brings it down the floor for Spring Valley. Gets it over to the left side to Matheson. Matheson back out to Fritz. Now over to the right side. That's Trainer. Down into the lane, then out to Schaefer. Shot's no good. Rebound taken down by Goodell. Feeds it down to Hajdukovic. A little bit long. She saves it inbounds, but into the hands of Spring Valley. Matheson brings it down the floor. She's on the left side. Gets it down along the left baseline. That's to Vanessa. Tries to put it up, and the ball got blocked by Hajdukovic and sent over to Goodell. Goodell at the top of the key. Over to Sikora on the right side. She's high, wide, and right. Back to Goodell between the circles. Goodell gets it over to the left side now to Anderson. Anderson at the free throw line. Back out to Sikora. Thought about the three, didn't take it. Tried to pass it to Goodell, but Fritz got a hand out there and knocked it out of bounds. We have 4 in and 4 out for the Vikings. Hajdukovic stays in. Jordan Bovey gets it over to Sierra Shipman. Shipman out to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic over to Jordan Bovey on the left side. Back out to Hajdukovic, free throw line left. Out to J.C. Bovey on the right side. To Nigaman, puts up the three. She got the three! Autumn Nigaman with the three. Fritz on the dribble, over to the right side. Now gets it back over to the top of the key to Vanessa. And then to Trainer. Over to the left side to Vanessa, to Schaefer. Tries to drive the lane, ball gets knocked away. Nigaman taking it down the floor. Turns, puts it up, puts it in! Autumn Nigaman with a quick 5 points. And down the floor comes Riley Fritz. And we have a jump ball being called as Vanessa got tangled up with Hajdukovic. Vanessa took a trip down to the keister, but jump ball was called. Vikings have it on the possession arrow. J.C. Bovey with it. Gets it to Jordan between the circles. To Nigaman on the right side, over to Sierra Shipman. She brings it over to the free throw line. Out to Hajdukovic, top of the key. To Jordan Bovey, to Nigaman. Nigaman puts it up, no good. Rebound chased down by Nigaman and tipped out to J.C. Bovey. Now to Jordan Bovey. Over to the right side to Sierra Shipman. Drives into the lane. Puts the shot up, it won't go in. And down the floor come the Cardinals. Ducklow back in there for the Cardinals. Trainer with it on the right side, gets it out to Vanessa. Ball gets taken away by Hajdukovic. To J.C. Bovey, to Jordan Bovey. Feeds it into the lane, down underneath. Sierra Shipman lays it up and in. And Spring Valley wants to talk it over again. So a timeout on the floor with 12:06 to go in the first half. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
C&K Construction is your source for high-quality concrete and construction work in the Chippewa Valley. Established in 2014, C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls
is a leading concrete contractor proud to serve Eau Claire, Altoona, Menominee, and surrounding areas. Specializing in concrete construction, excavating, flatwork poured walls, and much more, they're right for all of your concrete needs. Call C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls at 715-559-1335.
And we're back here at Spring Valley High School. Vikings with a 14-2 lead over the Spring Valley Cardinals. Down the floor come the Cardinals. This is Ducklow at the top of the key, feeds it over to the left side, and now back to the top of the key to Trainer, to Ducklow on the right side. Driving into the lane is Matheson. Ball gets knocked loose, and they get it back out to Trainer. Now over to Vaness on the right side. To Matheson, high, wide, and left. To Trainer, out to Ducklow. Over to Niedermeyer, out to Matheson. Matheson feeds it over to Ducklow on the left. Now over to the right side to Vaness, into the lane to Niedermeyer, and we're going to get a jump ball. Vikings tie it up down underneath. Shipman and Goodell in there getting hands on that ball, causing the jump ball. Ball comes into Ducklow. They feed it down into the lane to Vaness. Her shot got blocked by Hajdukovic. And down the floor comes J.C. Bovee across the timeline. Feeding it over to Sierra Shipman. She put in the three. 17-2 Vikings on top. And down the floor come the Cardinals. They feed it into the lane to Vaness, or just to the right of the lane. Now out high to Trainer, over to Ducklow, high, wide, and right, or high, wide, and left. To Vaness, to Niedermeyer, and then to Matheson down in the left corner. Gets it back out to Trainer. Then to Ducklow, to Vaness. Vaness takes it into the lane, and her shot got blocked again by Hajdukovic. She just can't get it past Hajdukovic. And Sierra Shipman with a shot, and she hit another three. 20-2, Vikings on top. Ducklow feeds it over to Matheson on the left side, and we're going to get a whistle, and I think we got a foul being called on, yes, on Jordan Bovee. That'll be her first personal. Second team foul on the Vikings. So Fritz to inbound. They get the ball into Ducklow. Ducklow high, wide, and left. Out to Trainer at the top of the key. To Schaefer at the free throw line. She's double teamed there. We're going to get a whistle and a foul. I think it's going to be on J.C. Bovee. Nope. I take that back. It's going to be on Hajdukovic. That's her first. Third team foul on the Vikings. Trainer gets it over to Fritz. Fritz high, wide, and left. Gets it out to Ducklow between the circles. She's setting things up. Takes it around to the right side, puts it up, and it rolls in. Mara Ducklow with the two. Nigaman gets it out to Bovee, then to Shipman to Hajdukovic from the lane. No good. She gets her own rebound, lays it up and in.
Yeah, great pass by Sierra. Then no look past the Hajdukovic for the two.
And a nice job of following your shot. She missed the first one, followed it, and got the putback. Long shot by Ducklow, and Ducklow hit the three.
Yeah, she's going to have to carry this team tonight if they're going to stay in this one.
22-7, Vikings on top. Hajdukovic with a jumper, and she hit nothing but net. 24-7, Vikings on top. Fritz with it, takes it around the right side to Ducklow at the top of the key, feeds it into the lane to Schaefer. Schaefer turns around, ball got partially blocked by Hajdukovic. They get the ball back out to the wing, and the shot is no good. Rebound, pass, nobody saw it coming, picked up by Trainer, and she got it to Fritz. No, Trainer's shot is no good. Niedermeyer's shot, well, she got fouled I think Nigaman got her with the hip. I don't know if it was the hip that got her, but it was Nigaman that got her. Shot goes up, and it's good. And we have substitutes coming in. (24-8), Vikings on top. 8:29 to go. Niedermeyer's second shot is up, no good. Rebound taken down, and Goodell has it for the Vikings. Stops at the free throw line, drives into the lane, puts it up, and she got no, she traveled. Took an extra step before she put it up. Fritz with the ball. Comes across the timeline, being guarded by Goodell. Takes it between the circles over to the left side to Ducklow. Ducklow to Schaefer at the top of the key. Back over to Ducklow, high, wide, and left. Ducklow over to the right side to Fritz, to Schaefer on the right wing. Tries to take it into the lane, and she took an extra step. So the Vikings will inbound it. Full court pressure being put on by the Cardinals. Keltner with it in the backcourt. Feeds it into the forecourt, a little too high for Goodell, and it went out of bounds.
Yeah, she had to kind of make a high pass, get over that Spring Valley defender, and just a little out of the reach.
So Fritz inbounds it to Ducklow, and Ducklow brings it across the timeline. She's got it between the circles. They set up a double pick. She takes it around to the right, hands it off to Fritz, then out high to Vaness, to Matheson, to Ducklow. They feed it down low, and nobody home. Goes out of bounds.
Spring Valley's trying to work it inside, and good job by Autumn Nigaman to defy that one.
So Nigaman inbounds the ball to Goodell. Over to Keltner. Keltner brings it up. Feeds it into the forecourt to Sikora. To Nigaman, lays it up, no good. She overlaid it. And down the floor comes Spring Valley. Vaness has it on the left side, over to Matheson. Gets it out high to Fritz, and we're going to get a foul called on Fritz. That'll be the second foul on Spring Valley. Yes, it is. First foul on Fritz. So Goodell gets it and feeds it to Anderson from Sikora. Back out to Sikora. Sikora spins, takes it into the lane, puts it up. No, it won't go down. Hit the back, hit the front, and hit the air that came off. So Fritz has it for Spring Valley. They feed it over to the right side to Trainer, then into the lane to Vaness. Then out to Matheson on the left to Fritz, top of the key to Trainer. Then over to Matheson, takes it into the lane, kicks it back out to Niedermeyer. Now Vaness. Vaness into the lane to Fritz. Thought about a three, didn't take it. Gets it over to Matheson near the top of the key. To Niedermeyer. Then to Vaness. And to Matheson. Back out high to Fritz. Fritz takes it around to the right side. To Matheson from the top of the key. She hit the three. 24-11, Vikings on top. Sikora with it, taking it over to the right side. Gets it to Keltner. Keltner drives into the lane, tries to put it up, but got fouled. Fouls on Audrey Matheson. That's her third team foul. And it's going to put Keltner to the line for two. Four in, four out for the Vikings. I don't think Keltner can come out. Oh, no, they're saying it was on the floor before she put the shot up.
Huh,
so she's not going to the line for 2.
Which is funny because I swear that she threw the ball up right when they called the foul.
I thought so, too. Ball comes into Sikora. She takes it out high, wide, and right. Over to the right wing to Sierra Shipman. Back out between the circles to Jordan Bovey to Sierra Shipman. Over to Hajdukovic from the left elbow, and she put it in. Jeanette Hajdukovic with 2 more. Fritz has the ball as she comes down the floor. Takes it over to the right side. Gets it to Trainer. Trainer puts up a 3. No, it doesn't go, and Sikora gets the rebound. Down the floor comes Jordan Bovey. Over to Sierra Shipman. Shipman from the free throw line puts it up off the back of the air. No good. Hajdukovic with the putback, and she got it. I think that's like 9 points for Hajdukovic.
Yeah, her season high is 14.
So the Cardinals have it at the top of the key. Fritz with the ball. Gets it over to Vanessa on the left side to Trainer. Back out high to Ducklow. Over to the right side now to Fritz. Fritz to Vanessa. Tries to drive into the lane. Ball gets blocked. Vikings come away with it. Down the floor comes Jordan Bovey. Reverse layup. No good. Hajdukovic tried to put it back up and in but got fouled. I think she got fouled by Vanessa. It is. Fouls on Charlie Vanessa.
Yeah, that little reverse shot there by
Jordan Bovey.
Jordan Bovey. Saw them trying that in practice the other day, and she kind of had a little chuckle.
First shot by Hajdukovic is no good. And her second shot, that one rolls off no good. Rebound taken down by Vanessa. She dishes it off to Ducklow, who takes it between the circles. Ducklow feeds it over to the left side to Trainer. Back out to Vanessa. Over to Fritz at the top of the key to Ducklow. Ducklow back to Fritz. She's now on the right wing. High pass out to the top of the key to Vanessa. Vanessa gets tied up. Ball gets taken away by Hajdukovic. Hands it off to Shipman, who goes sliding out of bounds.
No foul.
And no foul called. J.C. Bovey inbounded, and she got it in finally to Jordan. Jordan Bovey feeds it over to J.C. on the right side. Back over to the left elbow to Hajdukovic. Back to the right side to Sikora. And then out to Shipman for 3. No. Hajdukovic gets the rebound. Feeds it out to Jordan Bovey to JC at the top of the key. Backs out between the circles. Feeds it over to the right side to Shipman. Ball gets batted back out to Hajdukovic, but her shot is no good. Rebound taken down by the Cardinals. 28-11, Vikings on top. Cardinals with it on the left side. Niedermeyer with it, tries to pass it, and it gets taken away by J.C. Bovey and flipped over to Sikora. Sikora hands it off to Jordan Bovey on the right side. J.C. Bovey has it now. To Sikora, drives the right baseline. Cross-court pass over to Jordan on the left. Tries to feed it into the lane. Ball gets knocked away by Ducklow. Down the floor she comes. To Fritz on the left side. To Niedermeyer. Back out to Trainer at the top of the key. And dishes it off to Ducklow. Then over to the left side to Vanessa. To Trainer. Then to Fritz. Still on the left side. Down towards the left corner to Niedermeyer. Gets it back out high. That's Vanessa, puts a shot up hard off the glass, and the Vikings come away with it. Jordan Bovey bringing it down the right side, feeds it underneath to Sierra Shipman, who lays it up and in. Riley Fritz on the dribble between the circles, dishes it over to the left side to Trainer. Back out to Ducklow at the top of the key. Ducklow takes it into the lane, dribbled it off her own foot, but we're going to get a foul called on the Vikings on Shipman. Sierra Shipman with her first personal. 15th foul on the Vikings. Spring Valley to inbound the ball. Matheson gets it into Trainer on the right side. Then out to the right elbow to Schaefer. Then into the lane to Ducklow. Turns around, puts it up. It doesn't go. And the Vikings come away with it. Jordan Bovey feeds it over to Sikora. Sikora dribbles it out between the circles. Hands it off to Jordan Bovey. Gets it over to JC on the right side. Puts up a three-pointer off the iron. No good. Rebound chased down by Sierra Shipman. From the right corner, tried to feed it to Hajdukovic, but it got knocked out of bounds by Ducklow. So Bovey inbounds it, J.C. Bovey to Sierra Shipman, to Hajdukovic, out to Jordan Bovey, and then to Sikora. Now Jordan Bovey has it between the circles. Over to Shipman, then to Hajdukovic. Shot's no good. Rebound taken down by Spring Valley. Long pass, a little too far for Schaefer. It's out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball. Vikings on top, 30-11. Under a minute to go in the first half. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we have a Viking profile. It will be Bryn Sikora. On the dribble, getting it into the forecourt, Bryn Sikora lays it up and puts it in. Bryn Sikora with two more. Ducklow with it. Coming up on 30 seconds to go in the half. To Matheson, ball gets taken away by Sikora. To Jordan Bovey, who brings it down across the timeline. Over to J.C. Bovey, out to Shipman, and then to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic dishes it off to Jordan Bovey. Back out to Hajdukovic, over to J.C., to Jordan. Long shot off the rim, no good, and that's the end of the first half. And the score at halftime is the Vikings 32 and the Spring Valley Cardinals 11. And we'll be back with Viking halftime coming up right after this timeout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Time now for Viking halftime, with today's Viking profile and other halftime entertainment. That's coming up right after this.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're going to get to know Bryn Sikora, who is a sophomore here at Colfax High School. And Bryn, we know you play basketball, but are you involved in any other activities here at school?
Volleyball and softball.
And how'd the volleyball go for you this year?
Pretty good.
Okay. You had a good time? Mm-hmm. All right. When did you start playing basketball, and what kind of an experience has it been for you?
I started playing in second grade, and it's been a fun experience. You know, I've learned a lot, and I feel like I've grown as a basketball player.
Okay, so what's the most important thing that you've learned playing basketball?
To be disciplined.
Disciplined, very good. Okay, so when you're not playing basketball or you're not here at school, what are other things that keep you interested or occupied?
I do a lot of softball.
Okay, even off-season stuff?
Yep.
Okay. All right. A few rapid fire questions for you here. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Ice cream.
Which flavor?
Cookies and cream.
Ooh, that sounds good, actually. Hot dog, burger, or brats?
Brats.
And what do you want on that brat?
Just ketchup.
Just ketchup. All right. Favorite color?
Sage green.
Sage green. That's pretty specific. Is there a reason?
It's kind of calming.
All right. Okay. If you could have a superpower, what do you think that would be?
Reading minds.
Okay, another mind reader. All right. And if you have that ability to read minds, of course that's a superpower, so you have to have a superhero name to go with it. So what's Bryn's superhero name?
Baller Bryn.
Baller Bryn. All right. Little toss out there to the basketball as well, right? Okay. Yep. Favorite NBA or WNBA team?
NBA would be the Bucks.
Okay. How about your favorite collegiate team?
LSU.
All right. Now, is there a basketball player, whether pro, college, locally, who's kind of inspired or influenced the way you play your game?
McKenna Shipman.
McKenna, okay. All right, a shout out to a teammate here. Okay. So we're talking with Bryn Sikora today on Viking Profile, and Bryn, what are your plans for after high school? And you're a sophomore, so this is very changeable.
Go to college, hopefully. Go to 4-year college.
Do you know what you plan to go into?
Not yet.
Not yet. Plenty of time to decide that. Okay, how about a shout out to the family?
My mom and my dad.
All right. When people watch Viking games, what number do you wear, and where are we going to find you on the floor?
Number 34, and you'll probably find me in the post.
Okay, we want to thank Bryn Sikora for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next, more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. Basically, he had to relearn everything. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey.
Staying tuned to Viking halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's Viking game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Attacks against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders are on the rise.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer. In terms of the hate crimes, I think there is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
And we're back here at Spring Valley High School getting ready to start the second half in just a moment or two. Still waiting for the Cardinals to come out on the floor. But the Vikings have a 32-11 lead over the Cardinals at halftime. And Dan, why don't you tell us how we got there?
Yeah, here's the scores right now for Spring Valley. They're led by number 4, Mara Duckel. She has 7. Then we have Audrey Matheson with 3 and Edison Niemeyer with 1. For the Vikings, they're led right now by number 30, Sarah Shipman. She has 10 points. Jeanette Hajdukovic has 9. Bryn Score has 8. And Autumn Nigelman has 5. 32-11, Colfax.
And the Vikings showed pretty much complete domination in the first half. Missed some shots they probably left out on the floor. But I expect, first of all, I highly doubt that we'll see McKenna Shipman at all tonight. I see her sitting down at the end of the bench and making no signs like she's going to come in and play in this game.
Yeah, I think.
And there really isn't a reason for her to.
Right. And Jeanette Hajdukovic has done a great job here in the first half. You know, she's had to play almost the whole first half, I think. And she's done a great job on the boards, and she's making some nice outside shots.
And the block shots.
Yeah, she's probably has 4 or 5 of those.
So we're waiting for the Vikings to come out onto the floor. Spring Valley is out there. Vikings have the possession arrow, so they will get the ball first. Getting some last words of wisdom from Coach Serrar.
Yeah, I think if Colfax just keeps this up, you know, get the rebounds, keep Spring Valley out of the middle, it'll be definitely a W in the books. Spring Valley has to find a way to get inside and somebody else to shoot besides Duckel. They're doubling her up, and so we'll see if anybody can step it up for Spring Valley.
And when Vanessa tries to shoot, she's got to get it past Hajdukovic. Anderson has the ball, hands it off to Keltner, gets it to Hajdukovic, feeds it down underneath to Anderson as she drove in and put it in. Jada Anderson with her first 2 on the night. Fritz with the ball at the top of the key, takes it over to the right side, puts the shot up off the rim, no good. Rebound taken down by Keltner, gets it off to Goodell, long lead pass down to Sikora, tipped off her fingertips, and Fritz gets it for Spring Valley. On the right side, out to Ducklow between the circles, back over to the right side to Fritz. Fritz feeds it out to Matheson, and we have a collision in the lane.
I think it's going to be foul at 20.
Yeah, Meadow Keltner. Just like a bowling ball knocking down the pins. That's the way she was going through that lane. Feeding it out to the right side. Ducklow with a 3-pointer, no good. Rebound taken down by Goodell. Down across the timeline, stops at the top of the key. Feeds it over to Sikora on the left elbow. Then to Keltner, drives the left baseline, back out to Sikora, 3-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound taken down by the Cardinals. And lo and behold, thank you to Lynn's husband, Jesse, for picking up the prize in the beanbag toss for me from Culver's.
Yeah, I got to go check mine yet, too.
And the shot goes up, and it's in that time by Audrey Matheson. Ball goes over to the left side to Goodell. Feeds it to Hajdukovic, then back to Goodell going through the lane. She lost the handle and it went out of bounds. Ducklow with it across the timeline. Goes over to the right side. Put the shot up from outside. Kind of an awkward looking shot. It was no good. Keltner brought it back down the floor. Feeds it over to the left side to Goodell. Then out to Hajdukovic. Puts the shot up. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Matheson. Matheson over to Fritz. Goes down the right side. Comes out between the circles. Then over to the right side to Ducklow. Down underneath to Schaefer. Into the lane to Vanessa, and she banked it off the glass and in.
Yeah, good run there by Spring Valley.
Vikings bring it down the floor. Goodell with it. Gets it out to Keltner. Then to the right elbow. Vikings using a double high post. Now to Hajdukovic, feeds it into the lane to Goodell. She tried to go up, and we're going to get a foul. And the foul is going to be on Matheson, and they're going to say that was on the floor.
That would be her third.
Trainer into the lineup for Matheson. Keltner to inbound. Feeds to Hajdukovic, puts it up. No, it's off the front of the iron. Trainer gets the rebound, hands it off to Fritz. Fritz between the circles over to the right side. That's to Ducklow to Schaefer in the lane, turnaround jumper, no good. She gets her own rebound, feeds it out to the left side, but it's intercepted by Goodell. Gets it off to Anderson. Anderson into the lane, puts it up and in. One of those that just creeps over the front of the iron, but it went through.
4 points for her.
36-15, and all four in the second half. Schaefer has it. She's high, wide, and right. Tries to feed it into the lane, intercepted by Anderson. She gets the ball off to Goodell down the right side of the lane, puts it up. No good. And we have a jump ball being called. Possession arrow in favor of Spring Valley. And we have 4x4 substitution for the Vikings. And Kate Cipriano into the lineup for the Cardinals for Ducklow. Fritz has the ball between the circles. Gets it over to Schaefer. Still out between the circles. Over to Cipriano on the near side. Then gets it out to Fritz. Back over to Cipriano, left side. Down into the left corner to Trainer. Back out, high to Vanessa, to Schaefer. Puts it up, and it went in. Maddie Schaefer with two.
Her first 2 points of the night.
Jordan Bovey feeds it to Sierra Shipman, and whistle and a foul as she was trying to get the corner turned. And the foul is going to be on Charlie Vanessa.
Should be her first. Nope, her second.
And it's the second team foul. Vikings inbound it. Shipman gets it to Nigaman. Back out high to J.C. Bovey. Over to Jordan. Back to J.C. Tries to feed it into the lane. It got intercepted by Fritz. And down the floor comes Spring Valley. Out to Cipriano. Then to Schaefer, to Trainer at the top of the key. Over to the left side to Cipriano, then to Fritz down in the left corner. Back out high to Trainer, free throw line extended left. Cross court, over to Trainer. Now Schaefer has it, gets it to Vanessa, tries to put it up, it's no good, and they're going to say it was off the Vikings. So it'll be Spring Valley ball.
Something on the court.
And there is a problem on the floor.
Must be maybe blood drops.
Maybe some blood or something.
Oh, hey, Rick, we'll have to do a little tracking.
We've had less than that.
Wrong sport. Never mind.
I'll tell you what, let's not forget that we have more Viking basketball coming up for you. Big week next week. The boys will be on Tuesday night as they're taking on the Boyceville Bulldogs. Pregame starts at 6:40. That'll be at Colfax with live play-by-play to follow on NLWN-2. And then the girls, this is one folks have had circled for a while now. The girls will be taking on the Elk Mound Mounders, the unbeaten first place Elk Mound Mounders, on Thursday of next week. And those are the top two teams in the conference battling it out. That'll be at Elk Mound. Viking pregame begins at 6:40, and it'll be followed by all the live play-by-play action. We'll be there, won't we, Dan?
Yeah, we'll be there.
And that'll be on NLWN-TV. And they are looking to clean up some blood on the floor. There's got to be a deer laying over there somewhere. This reminds me of the one that I shot over by your place, and we were tracking spots no bigger than that.
Yeah.
We found that deer, though. Boy, there's a tracker if I've ever seen one coming off the floor.
He says that's how you do it.
Yeah. All right, Spring Valley with the ball. They're going to inbound it. Trainer looking to get it in. Gets it into Vanessa, and the shot got blocked, and they're going to get Hajdukovic with the block and the foul. And check that. Vanessa going to the line for two.
That's Jeanette's second.
First shot is up and good. 36-18. Second shot is up. Off the rim, no good. Nigaman chases down the loose change. Gets it over to Jordan Bovey, brings it across the timeline. Feeds it over to the right side to Sierra Shipman. Takes it to the right elbow, gets it back out high to Hajdukovic. Over to Jordan Bovey at the top of the key. To Nigaman. High, wide, and right. Hands it off to J.C. Bovey. J.C. out to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic to Jordan, three-pointer. She hit the three! Jordan Bovey with a three-pointer. Makes it 39-18, Vikings on top. Riley Fritz on the dribble between the circles for Spring Valley. Brings it over to the left side to Trainer in the corner. Down underneath to Vanessa, puts the shot up, it's no good. And coming down the floor is Shipman. Hands it off, going in is Jordan Bovey. And we have a timeout being called by the Spring Valley Cardinals. And you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
And we're back here at Spring Valley High School. Vikings with a 41-18 lead over the Spring Valley Cardinals. Riley Fritz to inbound the ball, gets it to Ducklow. Ducklow across the timeline. And she feeds it over to Cipriano, and the ball gets knocked loose. Picked up by Goodell, hands it off to Keltner, three-pointer. She hit a long three.
Meadows' first 3 points of the night.
Meadow Keltner with the three-pointer. Cipriano has it between the circles. Ball gets knocked loose. Keltner diving for it, and we're going to get a jump ball called. Vikings inbound the ball. Goodell with it. And they're going to get Goodell with a double dribble. And she saw the official and she goes, yeah, I guess I did. So Fritz has it for Spring Valley across the timeline. And we're going to get a foul called on Vanessa for an illegal screen. I don't know, that looked like a pretty good screen to me.
All I could think is maybe she did put a little hip into it, and maybe that was the difference.
Well, it was good contact, and so maybe that's what caused it. And the Spring Valley coach, Sean Houlihan, wanting an explanation, and he got one. I'm not sure he agreed with it. Vikings feed the ball over onto the right side to Anderson. Anderson down underneath to Hajdukovic, and she lays it up and in. Boy, Spring Valley left Hajdukovic alone, and Anderson found her.
Yeah, good play by Colfax.
Matheson with it, high, wide, and right. Feeds it over to Fritz, and that's going to be an over and back call. Fritz lost the handle on the ball and had to chase it into the backcourt. So it'll be Viking ball. Keltner gets it into Goodell, back to Keltner on the left side, to Hajdukovic on the lane, out to Anderson on the right side, out to the top of the key to Goodell, to Sikora on the right elbow, to Anderson, back to Sikora down along the baseline, turns around, puts it up, no good. Hajdukovic with the putback, no good, and we're going to get a foul. I think it's going to be on Hajdukovic for reaching over the top. It is.
That'll be her third. Which would definitely make this game interesting if she would get one more foul. Because she's played most of the game tonight. Maybe she's played the whole game.
Not quite, but she's been in there a lot. That's 3 fouls on the Vikings this half. Fritz with the ball, brings it over to the left side, feeds it down into the left corner to Ducklow. Cross-court pass over to Matheson. Drives into the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by Sikora. Sikora feeds it out to Goodell. Goodell down the floor into the lane, gets it out to Hajdukovic, then to Sikora. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound taken down by Goodell, and the ball got knocked out of bounds as she went up with it, and it's going to be Viking ball. Keltner to inbound. Tries to get it in to Anderson, but it got knocked away, but Keltner picked it up, and they finally get it out. Anderson has it on the right side to Sikora. On the right wing, into Hajdukovic. Turnaround hook shot is good. Jeanette Hajdukovic with 2 more.
13 points for her tonight.
That's just 1 shy of her season high, if I remember what you said correctly.
Yep.
Spring Valley with the ball. They've got it on the right side. Schaefer with a long shot, no good. Rebound taken down by Ducklow, takes it out to the right side. Then cross-court pass gets tipped out of bounds by Goodell. Four in, 4 out for the Vikings. Jeanette Hajdukovic gets a bit of a break. Ducklow feeds it into Fritz. Back over to Ducklow on the right side. Gets it out to the top of the key to Niedermeyer, then to Fritz, to Matheson. Back out to Schaefer. They're on the left side. Schaefer tries to feed it to Niedermeyer, and the ball didn't get tipped by the Vikings, just an errant pass.
Yeah, Niedermeyer was thinking backdoor, and Maddie was singing "Come Back Out."
Nigaman with a three-pointer off the off the front of the iron, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul on Nigaman as they were chasing the loose ball.
Her second.
Fourth team foul on the Vikings. Fritz feeds it off to the right side to Ducklow, then to Niedermeyer. She's on the right wing, gets it out to Ducklow at the top of the key, down to Matheson, down along the left baseline. Then into the lane to Ducklow, puts a shot up, it's no good. Nigaman with the rebound. Down the floor comes Sikora, pulls up from the elbow, no good. Rebound being battled for, coming away with it as the Vikings putting it back up and in. Sierra Shipman with the 2.
12 points for her tonight.
Ducklow feeds it to Schaefer. Schaefer gets it over to the left side to Matheson, gets it off to Ducklow. Ducklow backs out at the top of the key, feeds it down to the right baseline, and we're going to get a whistle, and it looks like we're going to get a foul called on Jordan Bovey. She tried to tie up the ball, and I think she tied up the player instead. That's the 5th foul on the Vikings, 2nd foul on Jordan Bovey. Trainer inbounds the ball to Matheson. Matheson takes it around to the lane, gets it to Trainer from the left side, shot's no good. Rebound taken down by Ducklow. Ducklow feeding it over to the left side to Matheson. She's on the dribble being guarded by Nigaman. Out to Ducklow, then to Fritz, then to Schaefer from the free throw line, shot's no good. Rebound taken down by Jordan Bovey. Bovey almost got her pocket picked. She noticed it just at the last second, gets it over to Shipman on the right side. Down into the lane to Sikora, shot's no good. Rebound taken down by Jordan Bovey, over to Sikora on the right wing. Sikora dribbles it back out high, wide, and right. Hands it off to Bovey. Takes it to between the circles and feeds it over to Shipman on the left. Shipman to the top of the key to Sikora, puts up the shot, no good. Rebound chased down out of bounds. It'll be Spring Valley ball. Vaness coming into the lineup for Matheson for Spring Valley. 6:32 remaining. And down the floor come the Cardinals. Ducklow with it. They get it over to the left side. Now Ducklow has it again. And we have a whistle. Fouls on Jordan Bovey. Trying to knock the ball loose. Got a piece of an arm in the process. So Spring Valley with the ball. Vikings on top. Shot goes up, no good. Rebound by Nigaman. 50-18. Down the floor come the Vikings, and Sikora puts a shot up that's no good. Ducklow with it. Over to the right side. Gets it to Fritz. Free throw line extended to the right. Out to the top of the key. To Vaness, they swing it around. Shot goes up. It's no good by Ducklow. And the rebound taken down by Jordan Bovey. Bovey feeds it over to the left side. And a long three-pointer by J.C. Bovey. Tries to go up, and Ducklow came down really hard. And we're going to get a foul on Jordan Bovey on the rebound. And it sure sounded like her head hit the floor pretty hard. So they'll probably check her for concussion. Tell you what, while they deal with her, let's take a quick timeout. You're tuned to Viking Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds? Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining?
Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Doctors Austin and Nikki Pritchard and their staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380.
Well, it looks like they're going to have to do a little bit of floor cleanup again as well. Looks like Ducklow is going to try to make a go of it.
.50-50 ball, and she got the worst of it.
Yeah, she got more than 50% of the contact, that's for sure. And he gets another hand for cleaning up the floor. And we're getting a timeout called by Spring Valley, so we'll take one as well on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Let Menominee Eye and Optical help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comroe provide both comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract and LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eye care for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, located at 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality, personalized care for you and your family.
Dairy State Bank encourages you to save smarter for your retirement by maximizing possible tax advantages. We offer traditional, Roth, and rollover IRAs with a wide variety of investment options. It's not too late to invest up to $6,500 of possible tax-deferred earnings into an IRA for 2023 tax purposes, or $7,500 if you're 50 or better. Call or stop by for more information. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
And at the free throw line is Mara Ducklow. She's going to stay in there. She gets the 1-and-1. First shot's up and good. 50-19, Vikings on top. Second shot on the way. That one's also good. And now coming in to replace her is Audrey Matheson. And the Vikings bring the ball down the floor. They feed it over to the right side to J.C. Bovey. Then to Goodell, three-pointer, and she hit the three. Kaysen Goodell with a three-pointer.
That's her first 3 points of the night.
So Fritz has the ball just across the timeline, takes it over to the right side, over to Trainer. Trainer circles around from the right side of the lane, puts it up, no good. Shipman with the rebound and brings it down the floor, gets it over to J.C. Bovey, back out to Shipman, puts up a three, no. Rebound taken down by Nigaman, puts it back up and in. Autumn Nigaman.
7 points for her.
Fritz through the center circle. Now this time comes to the left side, hands it off to Matheson, puts up a three. She hit the three. All of a sudden it's raining threes.
Matheson with 8 points.
Goodell feeds it over to the left elbow to Sikora. Then they get it over to J.C. Bovey, who feeds it to Sierra Shipman, puts it up and got fouled going up. And the foul is going to be on Charlie Vaness, and that's her fourth. It's a fourth team foul as well. First shot is up, it's good for Sierra Shipman. Second shot is up, it's good. Took it a minute to decide it wanted to go down through. Fritz across the timeline as the Vikings are on top 57-23. Hands it off to Trainer. Now to Schaefer, high, wide, and right. Over to Fritz on the right wing. Back out to the top of the key to Matheson. Loses the handle, but gets it back to Schaefer. She's high, wide, and right. Over to the left side now to Matheson. Matheson into the lane to Vanessa. She lost the handle. It went between the legs of Nigaman, and Goodell picked it up. Feeds it over to the left side and a little bit wide of J.C. Bovey. So Spring Valley is going to have the ball. Fritz with the ball in the center circle. Takes it to the left, zigs back to the right. Now down the right side, just inside the three-point arc, puts up the shot, no good. Rebound taken down by Sierra Shipman. She gets it over to J.C. Bovey. Bovey over to Goodell. Back to Bovey. Bovey over to Sikora. Gets it back to Nigaman. Actually, Sikora did a really nice job of getting rid of the ball before she traveled. And the ball passed from Bovey over towards Shipman, tipped out of bounds by Trainer. So it'll still be Viking ball. Bovey inbounds it to Goodell from between the circles. Gets it to the right elbow. And now out Nigaman gets it over to Goodell. Back out to Nigaman on the left side. To Sikora, three-pointer launched is no good. Rebound knocked out of bounds. And last touch by the Vikings. Matheson into the lineup for Spring Valley for Fritz. Ducklow also back in. Ducklow takes it down to the right side, over to Matheson, over to the left side to Cipriano. Back out high to Vanessa, to Schaefer. Down underneath, Ducklow turnaround jumper is no good. Rebound taken down by Cipriano, puts it up and in. Kate Cipriano with the two.
Her first 2 points of the night.
Goodell with it, feeds it underneath to Shipman, who missed the layup. Ducklow with the rebound, gets it over to Matheson, pulls up from three, she hit it off the bank and through the net.
11 points for her.
57 to 28, and the pass gets stolen by Ducklow. Feeds it over to Matheson, who dragged that pivot foot. Jordan Bovey in for Goodell. Hajdukovic is in for Sikora. And down the floor comes Jordan Bovey on the dribble. Feeds it over to the right side to Shipman. Back out to Nigaman. Tries the right baseline. It wasn't there. Passes it in to Shipman, who lost it out of bounds. Spring Valley with the ball. Ducklow on the dribble. Minute and a half to go in the game. They feed it over to the near side. This is Matheson. Now Ducklow has it on the left. Top of the key to Vanessa. Cipriano, and then back out three-pointer from Ducklow is no good. And we get a little bit of contact, and right in front of the official, and they didn't call it. Shipman and Ducklow were having words, and all of a sudden Shipman hit the floor.
Yeah, there really is kind of a little rivalry here.
Yes, there is. Ducklow has the ball, gets it over to Fritz. We're at 1 minute remaining. Matheson to Ducklow, puts up the three. It's good. Actually, it's only a two. She was inside the line.
11 points for her.
Maves inbounds the ball for the Vikings. Jordan Bovey with it. Gets it over to J.C. Bovey. Out to Claire Hajdukovic. Then over to Hurlburt. Shot goes up. It rattles around. It's not good. Rebound taken down by Ducklow. She comes down the floor, and we're going to get a whistle and a blocking foul called on Jordan Bovey. And that's the 5th foul on Jordan.
She'll end up with 5 points.
Goodell comes into the lineup for her. And Ducklow at the line. First shot is up, it's good. (57-31). Second shot, that's up and good. Cipriano and Trainer are into the lineup for Spring Valley. Goodell brings the ball through the center circle for the Vikings. Gets it over to Claire Hajdukovic. Then over to J.C. Bovey. To Hurlbert. Then to Goodell. Over to the left side. 5 seconds. And that's going to do it. There's the buzzer. Final score tonight. Vikings 57. And the Spring Valley Cardinals 32. We will have Viking postgame coming up right after this timeout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If you've been admiring the freshly groomed look of a baseball field, or the stunning appearance of a golf course, remember you too can have along with the same beauty by simply calling Midwest Environmental Consultants. Their professional lawn care experts can bring your lawn to its full beauty and appearance. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your lawn the showplace of the neighborhood.
Feel like you get taller every time I see you. Congratulations, Brandon.
You have been tuned to Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. This copyrighted production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and Colfax High School is intended for the enjoyment of the viewing and listening audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network LLC and Colfax High School is prohibited. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Post Game.
Is it time yet?
It's time.
Come start chocolate dinner.
Oh, terrific.
Donating pet food is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Time now for Viking postgame, with a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. And now, Viking postgame.
And we're back out here at Spring Valley High School. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow, Lynn Nigaman's been on the camera tonight as the Vikings come away victorious over the Spring Valley Cardinals 57-32. And I suppose Dan, well, let's see if Coach Serrar heads this way or not quite yet. So why don't you start going through how we got to that 57-32 score.
His scores for Spring Valley tonight. They're led by number 4, Marduckle. She had 12 points. We had Audrey Matheson with 11. We had Charlie Vanessa with 3. We had Kate Cipriano with 2. We had Addison Niedermeyer with 1 and Maddie Schaefer with 2. For the Vikings, they were led tonight by number 30, Sierra Shipman. She had 14 points, followed by Jeanette Hajdukovic with 13. We had Bryn Sikora with 8. We had Jada Anderson with 4. Jordan Bowie with 5. Negeman with 7. Meadow Keltner with 3. And Kason Goodell with 3. 57-32. Colfax gets the win.
And this is one, Dan, where the Vikings pretty much dominated from the get-go. A better performance tonight by Spring Valley than they did over in Colfax, where the Vikings beat them 66-16. But still, the Vikings controlled the game, and probably the difference in the score is McKenna Shipman wasn't playing tonight. So
yeah, Spring Valley had a big night inside, and but it was just too much.
And joining us now is Viking head coach Courtney Serrar. Congratulations, 57-32. That's a nice score.
Yeah, it was a good win.
And again, the girls stepped up and played well without their leading scorer and showed that they can pick up the slack when they need to.
Yeah, we had lots of kids, contribute to the box score, which is good. Lots of good passing. I thought we were really aggressive on our transition and had a lot of points scored that way, and it was good to see that.
And the defense remained strong. It's starting to look like maybe a little bit of a rivalry, so to speak, between Spring Valley and Colfax. There were a few times when things got a little testy and contact like down there, like the girls were playing tough both ways. And I'm not saying anybody was being cheap or anything like that. It was just tough basketball.
Yeah, I mean, I think my kids are physical, and that's what we ask them to be, aggressive, and they're not mean or anything like that. They're just hustling and going for the ball. No,
and in fact, from experience, I've met all your girls, and there isn't a mean one amongst them, but they are athletes, and they're aggressive, and they play the game, in my mind, the way it's always supposed to be played, like you're going out there and you're going after it, and so hats off to them for that, and it's kind of good to see. Big one coming up next week. What are you looking for?
Yeah, I mean, I think, it's a huge game for the communities. It's one that people always circle on their calendars, Colfax and Oak Mound. So, we've been playing well as of late, and obviously so have they, and I think it's just going to be a good game.
Well, it'd be awfully nice to give them that first loss of the season. That would be kind of fun to see happen, especially over at their place. That would even make it a little sweeter. All right, well, congratulations on the win tonight and moving that record to 8-2 in the Dunn-St. Croix, and we'll see you on Thursday.
Thank you.
And we'll be back with more Viking postgame right after this timeout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV is excited to once again be your host for Colfax High School Girls Basketball throughout the 2023 through 2024 season. Our next game will be on Thursday, February 1st, when the Vikings will travel to Elk Mound, Wisconsin to take on the Elk Mound Mounders. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with Viking pregame at 6:40 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV on Thursday, February 1st.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2 are excited to once again be your host for Colfax High School Boys Basketball throughout the 2023 through 2024 season.
This is what we came in for!
Our next game will be on Tuesday, January 30th, when the Vikings will host the Boyceville Bulldogs. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-2 begins with Viking pregame at 6:40 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2 on Tuesday, January 30th.
Spring is on its way,
and the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV are excited to once again be your home for Colfax High School baseball.
Yeah.
Join us as we follow the Colfax Vikings as they battle their way through the Dunn-St. Croix Conference. We'll carry Viking home games on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Back here at Spring Valley High School, where the Vikings came away 57-32 winners over the Spring Valley Cardinals. Dan, your thoughts about this one?
I thought that both teams did. Oops. No, it is on. There we go. Yeah, I thought that both teams played really hard tonight. You know, Spring Valley knew they had to be physical and fast, and but Colfax was ready. They knew that if they jumped out to an early lead, they can hang on, and they did.
And Spring Valley does have some kids who can shoot the ball, but what I've saw tonight is they have difficulty shooting it in a hurry. And you even mentioned they have to be physical and be fast, and when you have to be physical and fast, the tendency is to rush your shots. Yeah. And I think that made a big difference for Spring Valley.
Yeah, Colfax, they close out that ball so fast. You know, you got to move the ball quick, and hopefully that they're not there, but they're usually there. So, yeah, they don't give you much to look at, and you just got to take what they give you.
So we've got some excitement coming up next week. We have a couple of games, and most people have that second game next week circled on their calendar. Coach Serrar was just talking about it. What are you looking for there?
Yeah, I think that Colfax has to make sure that they play lots of defense. They can't let Outmount get any second chances. They got to make sure that they take care of the ball. And they got to have their A-plus game ready to go. And it would sure be nice to get Janek or McKenna back into the lineup.
I think she's fully expecting to play in that game. So this reminder then, don't forget to join us here on NLWN-TV along with the Northern Light Webcasting Network. That's Thursday night, February 1st. Can't believe it's already February, practically. As the Viking girls are going to travel over to Elk Mound to take on the arch-rival Elk Mound Mounders in a Dunn-St. Croix Conference matchup. Pits the top two teams in the conference. Live coverage will begin with Viking pregame at 6:40, and that'll be followed by all the live play-by-play action. That's Colfax Girls Basketball next Thursday night on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. And prior to that, join us on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2 on Tuesday, January 30th, as the Viking boys will take on the Boyceville Bulldogs. That's also a Dunn-St. Croix Conference matchup. Viking pregame starts at 6:40 with live play-by-play action to follow. That's Viking boys basketball on Tuesday night on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2 and Viking TV. Don't forget that the dance team is going to compete tomorrow at their regional meet at D.C. Everest High School in Schofield. Also want to let you know that coming up this spring on NLWN2, we are very excited to be able to bring you Chippewa Valley Phoenix football. The first game will be on April 6th. That's scheduled for April 6th, weather permitting, unless we get a snowstorm or something. And that will be all the way over in Wilmer, Minnesota. And we'll be bringing you that game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2. Now, tonight's Colfax Viking Girls Basketball game has been brought to you by the Colfax Animal Hospital. Let Doctors Austin and Nikki Pritchard and their friendly staff take care of your pet. C&K Construction, your concrete experts for the Chippewa Valley. Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for Western Wisconsin. Anderson Bridges, who've been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology, IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Menominee Eye and Optical with quality, personalized care for you and your family. and Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Comfort food the way Mom used to make it. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Colfax Viking Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. So for Dan Petchow and Lynn Nigaman, this is Rick Olson. That final score once again, Vikings 57 and the Spring Valley Cardinals 32. You've been tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.